Have something like this for kids, their own little personal portion. Because a lot of picky eaters, I know lots of parents have to prepare 2 meals. One dinner for the parents, one dinner for the adults.
You know what? That's something, with my business, I spend a lot of time helping parents decide how to plan meals because I cook with their children all the time.
Yeah.
And I actually really discourage cooking separate meals because I find that it sort of enables kids to continue to be picky. And instead, if we can kind of prepare meals that at least have a component that everyone will enjoy, that the kids will eventually sort of participate, and they're going to see that you're loving the food that you're eating.
Of course.
And wow, they really love this food. I'm going to try some new flavors. So it happens over time.
Now, for example, I don't like black beans.
Okay.
Can I substitute that for something else?
You certainly can. So, you know, there are plenty of people with dietary restrictions, whether it's religious or allergies or taste. And so I enjoy using black beans, as does Spencer. You could also use ground beef or ground turkey. Actually, a lot of people don't know that if you freeze extra firm tofu and then thaw it, you can crumble it, and it's a very similar consistency. And then if you saute it with garlic and onions, you can also add any spices that you like and have a whole new flavor. Okay, so why don't you add some beans? Maybe Spencer should be the bean guy.
I'll be the bean guy.
You like the beans.
You
like the beans.
So you want to put just a nice little layer of beans on top?
However much you think can fit in there nicely. Let's leave some room for salsa.
So it's
you can use the spoon too if you want. Absolutely. This is a really flexible recipe. And like I mentioned, you know, you can make a big dish full and layer it and add other things. Kids often love olives and things of that nature. You can use fresh peppers and things like that as well.
And why is it important to prepare food with the kids, get them involved in the process?
Well, I think you're teaching them a life skill. You're teaching them about eating healthy foods. You're teaching them to try new flavors, some of which are ethnic flavors. We live in a really nice, diverse community, and we're very lucky because we have farmers markets all over. By getting the kids to shop with you and eat with you, you're getting them a little bit more excited about tasting some of those foods.
And your kids are so lucky. They get to cook with you all the time.
You know, my kids help me test recipes a lot for our new service, which is called What's Cooking Weekly. And What's Cooking Weekly is an online service that plans menus for your family for you. So it pretty much takes away all of the thinking. For some people who are so busy, we give you an organized grocery list for 5 meals a week, and we give you recipes, and we use healthy and seasonal ingredients.
And your website is?
It's whatscookingweekly.com. We launched a new website for it. It's really great to use, very easy. We also include other tips on seasonal ingredients and things like that.
Okay, now that we've got this assembled.
What I would do is I would put this in the oven and I would cook it maybe 10 or 15 minutes. The cheese would get bubbly and hot and all the flavors would meld together.
Cool.
So this is one I made this afternoon.
So
you could even do this
if you want to taste it. Absolutely. You can have them in the refrigerator. I would bring it to room temperature and then get it into the oven, and you can give it a try.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to let you do that because
that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, she's not a bean girl.
I'm not a bean girl.
I'll eat your portion. Don't worry.
I know it is good. Amelia and Ari wanted me to tell you that both of the recipes today were delicious, and they were convinced that Spencer would love them.
And they were right.
They're right.
They were right. Excellent.
Oh, yum. Because it's not polite to eat and talk at the same time.
You didn't spill this time.
No,
you
That's
didn't.
good.
I was ready with the napkin.
Michelle is still picking on me because the first time she was ever on the show, I bit into something you prepared, and the food just went everywhere. I had a food malfunction. You know, that does happen.
Yeah, it does. You can dress you up, but you can't take you everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes you can't even dress me up. But anyhow, this is delicious. I'm going to chow down on this because when we come back, it's time for dessert. And Michelle's going to show us a recipe for a fantastic pear ginger crumble. Stay right there. Okay, we're back with Michelle Stern, owner of What's Cooking. We had our entree earlier, and now we're going to make a delicious dessert. It's pear ginger crumble.
Yes, it's really delicious.
Here it is.
I decided to do something to really enjoy the fruit, the pear that's in season right now.
Right.
And pear is at its peak. It's going to be ending pretty soon. I wanted to take advantage of it. And this is a really simple recipe. There's a lot of steps that the children can do to help get involved with this one as well.
So I gather from what you say then that you can use whatever fruit may happen to be in season.
Yeah, I think pretty soon I would probably do something with strawberries and rhubarb.
Right.
But again, that's a great way to get kids tasting new foods. You can bring them with you to the farmer's market to look at the new colors and get to taste lots of things that are out there.
Okay.
And there's a lot of tasks that they can do. Okay, we've got pears, and these have a little bit of lemon juice and ginger in them to give it a little kick. It's really delicious. We have brown sugar, old-fashioned oats, cinnamon, some whole wheat pastry flour, and a little bit of canola oil to bind it together.
Old-fashioned oats, not those.
Not the quick cooking ones.
And you're not using butter?
I'm not using butter. This time I'm using a canola oil to help bind it together. It's a healthier alternative. And in What's Cooking and What's Cooking Weekly, you know, we try to keep our classes for kids using healthy foods and getting people to understand. So why don't we pour these into here? We'll get the pears into our baking dish.
All right.
And then what we're going to do is Audrey and I are going to mix together the ingredients for our toppings. So we're just going to toss everything in here,
Brown sugar.
and then we're going to mix it together with our hands.
Now, the difference with this and like an English crumble is just putting the oats in it, isn't
I
it?
think so.
Yes.
I think so. So we'll add these
Reminds me
guys
of
in
school
here.
Did you say there was a pinch of salt in with the cinnamon?
There is. There is.
Oh, not
and you want
cinnamon,
to add
ginger,
that in?
ginger.
I think it's in with the cinnamon, to complement the topping.
Gotcha.
And we'll get the oil in there, and then I'm ready. Do you want to mix with your hands? I do.
I don't mind.
You don't mind? All right, it'll be good for your skin.
I'll watch the
It'll be
mixing.
good. Now, when you're cooking with children, it's really great. Go ahead. And we want to get this to be a nice crumbly consistency.
Now, do Ari and Amelia help you mix
They
like this with their
love
hands?
this.
I'll
They
bet
look forward to this. I just have them wash their hands about 100 times because you never know what kids do with their
I
hands.
promise I washed my hands.
Oh, I believe you.
I'll bet they wish they could be here mixing this today.
They're probably a little jealous, actually, that you're my stand-in kids today.
That's
Well, we'll
cool.
behave, I promise.
Now,
What
do you
if-
have to adjust the level of spiciness for the kids, or
No,
do they...
you know, cinnamon is a flavor that a lot of children really enjoy, so
Right.
it tends to work out. We mentioned What's Cooking Weekly earlier, and one of the things that we do in that is we give families a list of steps that their children can do on every recipe. So as my stand-in children on this recipe, you can sort of see that there's a lot of tasks that we can do. And so we really like to help parents identify what those tasks are.
So you pour the mixture over
You
over
pour
the
the
pears.
mixture over it and pat it down.
Yep.
And when we bake it, it gets really crispy.
And it comes out looking like this.
And it comes out looking
so
like
let's
this.
put the
look at
finished
me, I'm
product
a
over here so we
Look
can
at
taste.
you.
Oh, see, I'm worse than the kids.
It's just like
Oh my
cooking with
God.
kids.
What are these
I
little,
just-
It would be.
Except I don't have my dog to clean up the floor.
We just did it.
I also just wanted to point out these wonderful cloth napkins are made by some friends of mine. Their company is called Fabkins, and they help make mealtime fun. I try to make mealtime fun with the cooking, and they do it by giving it a great environmentally appropriate complement to that the kids can use. And it's really fun. You can pack them in your kids' lunch.
And it's
Michelle,
really good to have family meals with the family
is
every night.
outrageous.
It's really good, isn't it? I know. It's really good.
Oh my gosh.
Amelia wanted you to try it with ice cream, but I couldn't bring any.
Bring the ice cream
Next
next
time.
time. Thank you so much,
Thank
Michelle. Okay. Now, after this meal, I'll tell you how you can look thinner and younger.
And taller.
And taller. Instantly. All you have to do is sit, we're told.
I know.
We're going to show you just how to sit coming up next.